If you knew you were gonna die, if you knew that there was nothing that you could do to prevent your own death, how would you act? A majority of things in life we cannot control. At the time that I'm recording this video, the thing that I can't name is going on. I don't know where society is going to be. Probably, this video probably won't come out till like 3 or 4 weeks, maybe 5 weeks till after I record this. As of today, markets are crashing. People are panicking. People are making short-term decisions. They're trading their freedom for their security. And it made me really think about this idea of accepting your fate. That one of the key things about being a man is accepting the things that you cannot control and accepting your fate. Last few weeks, probably lost a good $150,000 to $200,000 worth of dollars. Me as a person, I'm just accepting that, right? I'm moving on. I'm recording videos today. Yeah, I have a decent amount of money. I have a pretty high net worth. I have a multi-million-dollar net worth. But losing $150,000 to $200,000 is still a pretty good kick in the nuts. And I did feel it. But I'm just moving on. I'm just going to record videos. I'm just going to continue on with my business. And I know there's a lot of downstream effects that are going to happen. I know that the markets, a lot of businesses, small businesses are going to go under. I know it's going to affect my core businesses here online. I know it's going to affect my rental businesses and my commercial rental businesses. And I'm ready. I'm prepared for the worst. Winter is coming. You have to be ready for this stuff. And so I've been preparing for this. I'm ready for the bad to come. And I don't mean it from a necessarily financial perspective. When the black swan event comes, no matter how financially prepared you are, and there's smart things you can do to prepare yourself, you can't fully mitigate all possible things that can happen to you. A lot of things can blindside you in life. I mean, you can be in the situation like I talked about in the beginning of this video. You know that you're going to die. Many of us will be in that situation, and we'll have to decide as men how we are going to handle that situation. So that's why it's important to think about it ahead of time. One definite attribute that a lot of us lack is the ability to accept our fate like a man, to be able to recognize when something bad has happened and to accept that and to move on. And that's something I've had to do a lot in my life, that I've learned how to do. I used to get really beat up. I used to get really upset about bad things that would happen. I would dwell on them and be upset about them, and it would ruin my life. I wouldn't be able to function. I wouldn't be able to work. But now the shit happens. I take a deep breath. I accept that thing, and I go and I move on and I make the best of it. There's a lot of things in life that you can't change. A lot of things that it's not your fault necessarily, but you still have to take responsibility for them. You still have to choose those things. A lot of people cannot handle, they cannot accept their fate. Accepting your fate doesn't mean that you just accept whatever hand you've been dealt in life and say, well, I guess I'm fucked. You still fight against it. You still try to improve your situation in life. You still try to accomplish the things that you can in life to improve yourself. But you also have to accept the inevitable, the things that have already occurred. Those are the things, or the things that will imminently occur, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you lose money, for example, in an investment, it's done. You can second guess yourself. You can wish you didn't do that. You can play all these scenarios in your head, but the best thing that you can do is you can learn from it and move on. You can get in situations where you're injured, and you know, I've been there. I've torn my pec, where I've thought about, man, my life would be a lot different if I hadn't gone through that injury, if I hadn't gone to the gym that day, if I had done something different that day. But I don't dwell on those things. I just accept it. I just move on. I'm just going to continue on with my life. Shit happens. Fuck it. I'm just going to go on. Right? I'm just going to move on with my life, and I'm just going to continue. So many people get caught up on it, and they're trying to avoid their fate. When I look at what's happening today, and again, I'm not going to name the name of the crisis that's going on, but when I look at that, and I look at the people panicking, and I look at the people willing to give up their freedom, their basic human rights to movement, in order to bargain to save their lives. The real reason behind all of this is fear. It's fear. It's not accepting your fate. There's some dangerous shit happening. I'm not going to bargain. I'm not going to try and get my way out of it. I know that this is mine. This is my load to bear. This is my burden in life that I must bear. And I'm not going to beg. I'm not going to plead. Okay? I'm not going to go to the guillotine on my hands and knees begging for forgiveness and just one more chance, then please spare my life. If it must be, it must be. And that's the attitude that we all need to have. And it's easier said than done, I'm sure. I know it. But I try to practice it in my life. Shit can take you down that doesn't need to take you down. So many people I know, because they don't have that fortitude, because they haven't developed that resilience, and because they can't accept fate, they're fighting it. They're trying to bargain and they lose more and more of themselves, and they allow themselves to be taken down. I could be watching the stock market all fucking day and not doing any work, and I could let my businesses tank, and I can let my life tank, and I can let my running and all these ambitions and goals that I have tank just because something bad happened. Or I can just say, you know what, fuck, that sucks, and move on. And there's so many times in life where I've been in that situation, and I've had to make that choice. If you make the wrong choice and you get stuck in that moment, you know those people. You know those people that dwell on the past, and their whole life is defined by one bad thing that happened that they won't accept in their life, and they destroy their entire lives because they won't accept their fate. It's important as a man to accept your fate, to choose, to say, you know what, fuck, some shit's gonna happen. Some bad shit's gonna happen in my life. I don't have control over it. I don't have control over everything in my life. That's okay. But I'm not gonna beg, I'm not gonna grovel. I'm not gonna trade away my principles and my integrity and my freedom just for a chance. Instead, I'm gonna accept it. I'll accept my fate. I'll accept what happened. The book 1984, if you haven't read that book by George Orwell, read it. That's an extreme choice. At that point, with what he had been through in that book, you can sort of understand why that character would make that choice at that point in time. The longer that you would be able to hold out, the greater of the thing that would have to happen to you in order for you to be able to give up every principle and your integrity in life. That's what defines you as a man.